Hey guys, welcome back to another video. While sentiment right now in altcoins is really rock bottom, volume has dropped off. People are capitulating. People are selling their altcoins, including CRO, ADA, and other altcoins as well. But in this case, whales are buying while retail are selling. In this video, I will talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance. I'm going to talk about CRO, the frustrations, and what Crypto.com or the Cronos chain can do to change that. Because we're seeing things like BNB and they're making some moves recently. So we'll get into that as well. But like I said, they're getting market manipulation. But while also retail are selling, we can see Ash Crypto has said here, breaking two whales have bought 170,762 ETH worth 442 million in the past 72 hours. Retail panic selling ETH, whales are loading up on ETH. We can also say here, Vivek, as whales are buying Bitcoin like never seen before. Tighten your seatbelt. Again, retail are selling. This could be an opportunity. Nothing I say on these financial advice could be an opportunity to buy that dip because I do think alt season will happen. But also we can see here, Quentin says here, BlackRock bought over 23,960 million Bitcoin, 12,630,000 ETH. The whales are buying. New whales, as we can see on this blue here, are accumulating while the older whales, OGs, are still holding and also accumulating as well as retail or panic selling. So these people are buying your altcoins. These people are buying your Bitcoin while you're panic selling and worrying. And what will happen is I'm seeing so much negativity sentiment on the X. What will happen is that sentiment will get even more negative when we start to see altcoins and Bitcoin start rallying back up to the upside because we are getting a lot of manipulation in the market. And one person is saying here is Marty Party, who I've been following for quite a while. Have Binance paid the DOG the 4.3 billion fine by selling and moving crypto to Coinbase? Binance owned the USD DOG 4.3 billion in fines and had to pay the forfeited property by March 2025, 16 days. Based on the proof of reserve from January the 1st, 2025 to February the 1st, 2025, their balance of Bitcoin, XRP and SOL, if sold based on today's price, probably higher early in the month when this started, count for Bitcoin 370 million, SOL 3.4 billion, XRP 230 million, total 4 billion. To 4.3 billion. Here are the proof of reserves. Do the maths yourself. There are two images. Click on the date, deducted February, Jan, and multiple by typical monthly spot price. So you can go to multi-party price, click on it, and check it out. And this is why I think they have sold. And obviously, this is absolutely what's brought the market down. And I think this manipulation is from Binance. Binance always seems to be behind a lot of market manipulation. And for my opinion, I don't really see why people get so excited about Binance. I don't like the platform for a start. I think it's just a load of junk. Really, but that's my personal opinion. I'm not going to get into that. But now you've got CZ talking about BNB chain again as well, which is helping BNB token. And we can see on the bubbles here that BNB is up 21.60. So which is frustrating because they talk a lot about their BNB token. But let's get into Bitcoin at the moment. So Bitcoin, very briefly here, Bitcoin is basically just still in that range at the moment. We're in that falling wedge here at the moment. And basically now we're just consolidating, chopping sideways. But what I'm watching out for also is I'm watching out for also trying to get above that 20 EMA and also the 50 EMA. But we're well above also that 200 in EMA as well. So obviously all eyes are on Bitcoin at the moment, but I am watching the Fibonacci as well, the golden pocket, because we can see here the golden pocket, their value on the monthly is around about the 80,000, the weekly is around about that 82. And right now in between there is the fair value between 0.0706 and 0.65. So we see the golden pocket right here. There's obviously an chance that we could drop down here, or depending on what happens on further data that we get today in terms of the financial economics in the United States of America. But obviously we've got fair value here. But also I'm watching out for very closely is also we've got to see the gap right here between $85,000 and $77,000, which could get filled. It never always gets filled, but there's always a big possibility it could do. So obviously that could really, really knock the altcoins right down even further. So we just got to bear these ones in mind. And like I said, with Bitcoin, I'm watching out for the for the Fibonacci as well. But also what I am watching out for is a consolidation. That, like I said, if we pull back down, there's a chance that we could come back down to this support around about that $90,000. And potentially if we lose that, then obviously we could be coming down into those $80,000 mark. So we just got to bear that one in mind. But also watching out for very closely as well is the Bitcoin dominance as well. Because right now, Bitcoin dominance is at a resistance. It's just chopping sideways at the moment. So all depending if Bitcoin starts to pump heavy towards the upside, obviously that could drag up the Bitcoin dominance. But at the moment, we're in the red. And I'm watching out for the Bitcoin dominance very closely because that's very important. We want to see Ethereum make some moves to the upside, but we want that Bitcoin dominance drop down. But which could be a saving grace for us as well is that I'm watching out for the Dixie. We want the Dixie because don't forget, Donald Trump will be talking today. I'm not too sure about what, but he is be talking. If he starts talking about the stock markets and the strength of the dollar, maybe, I don't know, that could also be a market mover as well. But the Bitcoin Dixie at the moment is on support at the moment. Now, drop down for that. The next support will be at 105 and then down to 102. So I'm watching this very, very carefully because we're on a downward trend at the moment of higher highs and higher lows at the moment. So we're coming down on that. So we're watching that very, very carefully. But also what I want to also point out is as well, another bullish, potentially bullish catalyst, which could absolutely be a saving grace as well, is the narrative that we need for QE. Because we heard Jerome Powell says there's not going to be any QE anytime soon. It's quantitative tightening and reducing that balance sheet because he wants to get to that inflation target of 2.0, and we know we ticked up to 0.3. So obviously, this is not great in terms of inflation. It's been found very difficult to get it down to that 0.2. We've had that bit of, but that could be through seasonality as well. And don't forget, we had those fires in LA as well, which could also help maybe bolster up that inflation as well. But also now we've got tariffs as well, which is going to give that bit of uncertainty in terms of, we know the markets react strongly to in terms of inflation data. And obviously they want to see, the markets want to see rate cuts. But what we're also saying, because obviously QE, we've been all waiting for crypto to get this QE, quantitative easing, and we know that's not going to be coming anytime soon. But what we've got to bear in mind is what happened in 2017. The narrative we need for QE, for ETH, alt season, is built on narrow perspective. In fact, during 2017 bull run, QE wasn't a factor. What really drives this bull run is the weak Dixie. And that's what I'm saying right now. We want a weak Dixie. Get that Dixie down. Bitcoin dominance to come down as well. That is going to be good for Ethereum and also the altcoins. And that is why I'm not selling my bag, even though there's much fear. So I've actually been buying. I've said this in previous videos. I've been buying on these as well. So we're just going to bear that one in mind and watch out for the Dixie very, very closely. And we don't need QE necessarily to actually get that alt season that we actually want. But what we are watching out for is obviously CRO token, which I own a lot of. And I know there's a lot of frustration. Sentiment is very negative on X at the moment because the frustration is when you start to see BNB making moves, because we know CZ's been talking about maybe releasing a meme coin about its cat or whatever. And we've seen BNB making a move up to 21% up at the moment. And we always seen is CRO just dropping down to the downside. We're not really seeing Chris, the CEO of cryptocurrencies.com, talking about CRO or anything like CZ does. And we're not getting Ken talking about CRO token either. It's really, really is frustrating, and it's frustrating me. I know a lot of my friends, I'll be honest with you, a lot of my friends have sold their CRO. They've sold it, they've had enough. And they're all saying they wish they got into BNB years ago. I'm not selling my CRO because I've still got conviction that there is a possibility that we could. But this is, again, why you should have a diverse portfolio, not just based on one coin. diverse your portfolio. That is a must. And like I said, right now, with the altcoins really dropped down right now and sentiment and volume's low, maybe it's a DCAing into some of the altcoins as well. Maybe that's maybe a reason. But we have got a bit of positive coming out, reduced gas fees coming out from the Cronos chain. And also we've got Crypto.com receives regulatory approval, providing crypto service to all European Economic EA member states. So obviously this is really is bullish for the Crypto.com and the Cronos chain. But obviously this is not bullish on CRO, because CRO is way behind what Crypto.com are at the top of the mountain, and CRO coin is right at the foot of the mountain. It's not really safe. I would like to see Chris talk a bit more about CRO. I want to see Chris maybe announce some sort of burn, and we can see Crypto West give him a follow on X. I fully support everything he says regarding what, I'm not going to go through all of this, but in terms of what Crypto.com CRO needs to do, Chris needs to do what Binance CZ is doing. Is talk about the Cronos chain more. Ken needs to come out, I think personally, and start talking more bullishness about that Cronos chain, because I'm afraid to say the sentiment is low because CRO is low. If CRO was up at 0.50, heading up to $1, sentiment would be sky high. And that's going to be good for the Cronos chain, as well as for Crypto.com. And I know people are saying, well, these burns cost a lot of money. Yes, it does. But it outweighs what actually all eyes could come on the Cronos chain and more onto Crypto.com. And Crypto West said he sent this email, this here, to Ken and to Chris as well. Strengthen the ecosystem by trying Cronos chain, CRO, and Crypto.com together through dynamic burns, buyback mechanism, driving DeFi growth and develop adoption. Crow burn idea letter. This is what he's giving out. I'm not going to go through all this. It's worth just checking out this and going on there, because he just says very briefly here that this approach has proven effective. Binance does it with BNB. Why can't Crypto.com do it? I'm frustrated because I've been DCAing all through the bear market at really low prices, so I'm still up at the moment. But why aren't they doing this? I find it frustrating and disappointing why this is not happening. Because you see other chains and you see other exchanges tokens have gone to all-time highs, but CRO is just flat. Moving down and dead. I know I'm coming out a bit negative on this, but this is what sentiment's feeling like on X. I'm holding tight still. I am going to give it more time to see what happens, because I think Chris and Ken should be doing something about it. And I'm hoping they're going to come out with some burns or something magic to get that CRO token moving. They need to be more interactive about CRO token, in my opinion. And that's what I'm thinking right now. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are regarding about the sale. Are you holding? Are you selling? Are you DCAing? What's your thoughts on buyback and burns? Let me know in the comments below. Because at the end of the day, we want that sentiment to go up because we want CRO to go up. And a lot of us are here to make money, not necessarily for the tech. That's where I am. Hit that like button, give subscribe. Your support is always much appreciated. And I'll see you soon in the next video. Take care.